All right, welcome to another week of the That's My Sports podcast. So it's just a two-man team today, me, Shayi, and Aaron to my left. So Ray Sean forgot to pay his light bill, and since he forgot to pay his light bill, obviously he can't be on the webcam. So it's just gonna be the two of us that did pay their light bill, by the way. Rent's first of the month, and we paid it. So yeah, we're responsible, unlike Ray Sean.
Exactly. Plus, I think because he's using the name Hollywood Ray, I think he's lying and he's actually hanging out with James Harden right now.
Probably eating some honey buns, or what would James Harden be doing right now?
Well, he definitely be at a strip club, so it is
Oh yeah,
LA.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
L.A. strip club, yeah, L.A. strip club.
whoa, what'd you think of
So
that
how
trade,
many
though?
over and under? Before we get to that, over and under. How many years before Harden requests another trade? 2 years.
Go
Over or
under,
under?
under.
Under. I say under as well.
I'll go about like 8 months.
8. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. But who won the trade? I say like what we were discussing before the show started. I say it's a push. Yeah, I think it's even for both. At first, my first gut reaction was that Sixers got fleeced, but after looking back at it, I mean Sixers, it was addition by subtraction. It was just like last year. It was just like what they gained a lot from the Simmons trade because Simmons wasn't playing. They gained a lot from the Harden trade because Harden wasn't playing. So yeah, just funny how back to back years you just got two disgruntled stars to Joel Embiid. But I mean, Sixers got two unprotected first round picks. I believe one is in 2028. I could pull up the trade unless Aaron, you want to pull up the trade, but so they got two unprotected first round picks. They also get Marcus Morris. They get KJ Martin. They got solid role players back on that trade. So I mean, the Sixers, they were playing well without Harden. Tyrese Maxey was taking this game to another level, and I think it was beneficial that Harden wasn't on the team to take the ball away from Tyrese Maxey. It moves Kelly Oubre to the starting lineup. Kelly Oubre is solid. So, look, they got a lot of depth on their team, and they also got a lot of assets if they want to get another star. For the Clippers had to make a splash. Honestly, you know what? I'm not even sure the Clippers front office has any say what's going on. Kawhi and Paul George got say what's going on, and they wanted James Harden. And look, you know, with Kawhi and Paul George, they're not playing an 82 game season. Hell, they're not even playing a 70 game season. So you need like a contingency plan to fall back on when those two are not playing. Because when those two weren't playing last year, the Clippers were horrible. So they needed a star player to at least score some points, create their own shot when those two are not playing. And that's where Harden comes in. They also needed a facilitator. Harden led the league in the assists last year with over 10, I believe. So, yeah, they needed that point guard, which they got with James Harden. So I say even for both trades, Clippers got zero depth, but I think with Ty Lue can make players. Ty Lue can find a role for anybody on the team.
Yeah, so I just pulled it up and they got 2028 unprotected first, two second round picks, 2029 pick swap, and an additional first round pick from the OKC Thunder. I'm just reading off of Woj. So it says the Clippers are sending 2027 first round pick swap to OKC, clearing the way for the Thunder to move a protected 2026 first round pick to the Sixers. And then the Clippers are sending a 2024 and 2029 second round pick to the Sixers in the deal too. So also too, I mean, the Sixers waived Danny Green. Is there any chance Danny Green will make his way to LA as well? Or like where would he
Probably
go?
to not the Clippers in LA, probably to the other team in LA.
I mean, he did win a ring there.
Yeah. And honestly, Danny Green is kind of washed at this point, so I don't think he really helps anyone. But I guess if you need like 10 minutes a game or some mentorship in the locker room, that's where he's useful.
True that, true that. But yeah, I think it was a push as well. I kind of am leaning more to the Sixers just because of the depth they have, whereas the Clippers, like you just said, Kawhi and PG are gonna go down. So then it's like, who do you have for backups in LA? Like Terrence Mann, did you see that photo of Terrence Mann? He looks scared as hell that he's like, oh, my minutes are gone. So
I don't
I
think it was that. It was just the fact that Terrence Mann always got traded for James Harden.
oh yeah,
So
that's
he's
true
just giving
too.
him that side eye. And honestly, I don't think his minutes are gone. His minutes honestly might go up. He might be starting in the long run.
This is very true. This is very true. And also too, I mean, James Harden is reunited for the third time with Russell Westbrook. So let's see if third time's a charm, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's just like no matter where he goes, he's either going to reunite with one of KD or one of Russell Westbrook.
Ay. Let's see. We got here
And
Hit
irony,
Squad. Sorry, we got Hit Squad Productions. So I was just on his podcast about 2 hours ago. Check that out to right now. It was a live stream. Check it out on his YouTube page. But yeah.
I was going to say, irony is that he's taking Westbrook's minutes. Harden's taking Westbrook's minutes, and Westbrook will be relegated to the bench.
But wouldn't he be the two though?
He would. I say he would still play the 1 and the 2, but he's not going to be the starting lineup anymore.
Hmm. Yeah, that's what I mean by that too. It's just like it's such a weird starting five they're gonna have now. I mean, we talked about it earlier before we went on, but it's like PJ Tucker is a starting four,
Not in
and then you got
2023. Yeah, they got to do something about that.
you got Paul George playing the two spot. I mean, all
Well, Paul
right,
George, he's been playing the 2, and honestly, a 2 and a 3 nowadays is just a wing position. So you got the guard. Well, some teams can do it differently. You can have 2 guards. You can have 1 guard. So what the Clippers doing: 1 guard, 2 wings, 1 forward, and PJ Tucker, and 1 big, and Zubac.
Mm. I mean, Zubac cannot get hurt because Mason Plumlee's just waiting in the wing, and
Yeah, and also
that's
they need to
scary.
upgrade their big position because Zubac, center for a championship winning team. I do not think so.
No, absolutely
Is he
not.
going to guard a AD? Absolutely not. He has the size for Jokic, but at the end of the day, he's still fairly limited in that aspect. So, yeah, they need to upgrade that center position. Like, honestly, both these teams, they didn't move the needle on anything towards winning a championship, but for the Clippers, they I guess at least appeased Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, who I think both have expiring contracts after this season. And the Sixers have now more leverage to possibly get a star player in the future with those extra draft picks.
Now, who do you want on the Sixers is the question because
Not that
uh,
who I want, who I think they will look for. So I think they will probably try to go for Donovan Mitchell. I think he might be the next big superstar to possibly leave to a different team because it wasn't his choice to go to Cleveland. He just got traded to Cleveland. There was rumors in the offseason that he was not going to sign an extension. He still wants to go to New York. So Philly could hijack that deal like Milwaukee did with Portland and see if they can pull Donovan Mitchell into Philadelphia.
now no former Raptors are going to come over to the Sixers, right? Like we're not, you know how all they have all these picks, so no OGs coming over, no Pascal
I
Siakam,
don't
like
think OG will move the needle either. Pascal Siakam, now that might be tricky because I think there was something with Joel Embiid and Pascal Siakam. Now that might be
oh,
water under the bridge, but I think there was something in international basketball between those two. So but yeah. Um that could I feel like if they get Pascal Siakam, that might be a good acquisition, but that's not moving the needle either. They
interesting.
need to get a superstar if they want to move the needle. So Donovan Mitchell, that'll be a player to move the needle for that team. But then again, you have a backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and Tyrese Maxey. That's food for defense. So, and they kind of duplicate each other. Tyrese Maxey is literally a poor man's version of Donovan Mitchell right now at this point. Very fast, can shoot threes, can't play defense.
This is true. Now, out of the super teams now that are here, who do you think is like the top two?
Top two. Well, number one is Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets still are firing on all cylinders. So I got to go with Denver number one. Number two, I don't know. I think it's between for me. It's between the Celtics and the Bucks. But right now, Celtics they're currently undefeated, so you gotta go with the Celtics. They just got a lot of depth. So with the difference with the Bucks is Bucks are kind of top heavy at the moment. Don't have too much depth, but Celtics got a lot of depth with their lineup. They got Drew Holiday, Derek White. Derek White's actually having a legendary season right now. I think I saw some like stat efficiency stat, and he's having one of the best seasons of all time, like of any player. And he's only averaging like what 15 a game, but it's just like he's doing it like on over 60% shooting, over 50% shooting from three. If he's not keeping that up, but if he just stays very efficient with Drew Holiday, the Celtics might be a team to watch for the championship as well. While we're all talking about the Milwaukee Bucks, we got to talk about the Boston Celtics, who are currently destroying the Indiana Pacers right now.
Yeah, that's like 126 to 76 or something like that. It's
Yeah,
pretty
129 to
aggressive.
82.
Oh my god, change. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I see. I didn't say I wouldn't put the Nuggets just because like they are like the standard now. Because literally, Jokic does not care about basketball. He cares more about horses than basketball, and he's just having his way with
Never
everyone.
question a man who's working for their money. So he has a determination because he wants to fund his horses. So never question a man's determination that provide for his horses and his family. And
He
that's what
just
Jokic is doing.
he just looks like he's just there, man. Like he's just an average guy, and he's not like
Basketball comes so effortlessly to him. I don't know why I couldn't say that, but basketball comes so easy to him.
because right now I just pulled up. He's averaging almost 27 points, 12 rebounds, and almost 9 assists already.
Did you see that alley oop he had like a couple
Yes,
games ago?
yes,
It's
insane.
crazy.
But I actually would have in my top two though. The Suns when they get healthy, just because of the trade they did with DeAndre Ayton,
When
actually
is
help with
that
their
going to
bench.
happen? When
I
is
have
that going to
faith. I
happen?
have faith it's gonna happen in like the next 2 weeks. And I guess the Celtics too. I'll give them some props on that. I would have said the Bucks, but I feel like they're just getting too old. If you think about it, like they kind of sent their depth away in that trade to get Dame Lillard. And I mean, yeah, Chris Middleton doesn't have to put too much on his shoulders because now Dame's there, but like I just don't see him going too far.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, like I said, Chris Milton. Also, he's coming off a serious injury as well.
Yep.
Brooke Lopez is a little bit long in the tooth. Yeah, they do have some issues with age, with depth. I mean, Lillard is getting older as well, but we're not talking about the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks are currently 3-0 right now. So we're not talking about the Dallas Mavericks. While I thought this team was going to be a playing team, the way Luca is playing, he's currently the best player in the NBA right now. And because of that, the Mavericks have started out the season undefeated.
Yeah, the dude literally has two triple doubles last 3 games.
That's crazy.
And I think what was that? Was you say that 1 3-pointer? How it was like one hand or something like that? Like Jesus.
I haven't seen that, but I mean, honest at this point, it doesn't surprise me.
Now I think Kyrie only played in the first game, and he hasn't played in the last two. So is this a better team without Kyrie, or will it be even better?
No, they need Kyrie. They need Kyrie. No, no, they can win games without Kyrie, but in the long run, they're going to need Kyrie.
So you don't like Josh Green as the two, I guess, because Luca will be playing the point.
I like Josh Green as a role player, but when your second best player outside of Luca is a rookie Derek Lively, then no, they need Kyrie Irving.
This is very true. Nah, I hope that he gets healthy because it is his foot. I don't know if it's the same foot that he got hurt at Duke, or if it's a different one, but All I saw was that it was his foot.
Yeah, it's the gift and the curse of Kyrie. One thing you're always going to expect Kyrie. Kyrie, an amazing player, also someone that's just naturally gifted at basketball. And I
For
feel like
real.
he doesn't have to even work, like do any workouts or anything. He's just good at it. But he's always going to get hurt. That's just Kyrie Irving. He's always going to get hurt.
For real. Mm-mm-mm. I'm just hoping Houston gets a win tonight because we need to beat Charlotte, and if we don't beat Charlotte, I don't know what's going on. But people, I actually are underestimating Dylan Brooks this year. He's very good, like passing the ball this year. His defensive efficiency isn't really that bad. I think he's holding shooters from 13 for 38
Yeah,
last time I
Dylan
saw it.
Brooks was never bad. It was just because what happened in the playoffs, you'll have people that occasionally watch basketball, casually watch basketball, also all of a sudden think he's the worst player in the NBA. When Dylan Brooks was one of the best defenders in the league last year.
Well, Hollywood Ray sent me some text messages, pretty much or not text messages on Instagram. He was tagging me that like Cam Johnson's better than Dylan Brooks and this and that. And I was like, I don't know about all that, but
That's two completely different players. Cam Johnson's a spot up shooter. Dylan Brooks is a defensive stopper. That is two completely different players. I don't know how you can really compare that. It's just
I
about what you need.
I don't know either. I think he was just trying to troll, but he did not do a very good job at it.
Yeah, but yeah, as we're talking about, Dylan Brooks has been very efficient, and I think that the thing what Dylan Brooks needed was a better coach. Because Taylor Jenkins, he was not going to tell Dylan Brooks to stop taking dumbass shots. Ime
Absolutely not.
Udoka will tell Dylan Brooks to stop taking dumbass shots. So that's why he's efficient and he's playing to his best capabilities, and that's playing defense. Now they're not winning any single games, yeah, but I do like the promise of Dylan Brooks, and I think in the long run, Dylan Brooks is a positive for all the young boys in this team.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that Cam Whitmore gets some minutes. I don't think he has any minutes so far, but
No,
well, we'll see. But before we
I
transition to the NFL, though,
I was going to say before, I just hope Van Vliet plays better because Van
yeah,
Vliet's
he's been
not
a
been
little
playing well.
off. He's been a little off lately. And maybe he's just trying
I
to find his
hope it's
groove
not
or
the Nick Nurse
something.
system that
Oh
made him a lot
Jesus.
better than what he is. I hope not. I'm just saying. And then that he was undrafted, so
Well, I mean,
it could be
technically, he did
a
sign a
Gabe
2-year
Vincent
deal.
thing. Yeah,
Oh
could
God,
be a
Gabe
Gabe
Vincent.
Vincent thing. You know how the Heat, any like guard they get or something, they'll make them much better than what they are. Then once they leave to another team, you get to see like, okay, they're not really that good. Only person that's breaking that mold right now is Max Strus. Max Strus actually seems a lot better now than he was last year for some reason, but it's usually rings true to every Heat player that they're never as good as they were in the Heat.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Fred VanVleet right now in this game has 19. He's 19 is 7-2, 5 for 9 from three, and 7-12 overall. So it's not too bad, I guess. And we are up by 12, but who knows? But before we transition to NFL, a legendary coach, definitely a hothead, Bobby Knight passed away today at age 83. There's just too many moments, I think, with Bobby Knight. But do you have a moment before we transition to the NFL of your favorite Bobby Knight story?
Well, so I guess Bobby Knight was just a little before my time.
Oh, me too.
So I couldn't really like say off the top of my head a favorite Bobby Knight story. But I do just remember him being a hothead. And I always remember just watching Sports Center, his press conferences every time. They're hilarious. And I mean, when you think of an authoritarian coach, Bob Knight is the first coach that pops up in my head. And while his type of coaching is possibly like it doesn't really translate to today's coaching, it was kind of like one of the best coaches of college basketball during his time. And a legendary coach that made the Indiana Hoosiers what they are. that made the Indiana Hoosiers this historic college. That was also before our time as well, but we know about the Indiana Hoosiers because of Bob Knight.
Yeah, exactly. I just like that he would throw chairs.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. That now I remember that one. I remember that one.
Now I don't remember if it was Texas Tech where he like grilled a player so hard. Maybe it was Indiana. Maybe it was his last year's Indiana. Where he grilled a player so hard that pretty much the I guess the organization, but the college was like, all right, like you gotta go. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
damn,
I think that was Indiana. I do
it's
remember that
Indiana,
one.
right? But ugh. All right, let's from Bobby Knight to I guess the White Knight in Minnesota, Kirk Cousins tears his Achilles. And we just praised him last week, saying he was back.
I hate
Tore,
it.
tore up his Achilles. Josh
We
Dobbs
got
gets traded to Minnesota.
three
Ugh,
Achilles injuries this season.
for real. Is it finally time for grass? Is it
I
finally
want
time for grass?
grass. I want grass, even though, yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I guess you could debate if that was really from the turf or not. You could debate that. That was just probably bad luck, but I hate seeing players get Achilles injuries in any sport because for the most part that's usually a career ender.
For real.
And if they come back, they're just not the same player anymore. And this is Kirk Cousins' contract year. And again, Achilles injury. Who knows? This might be the last time we see Kirk Cousins in NFL field because you gotta think about this. It's his contract year, got an Achilles. Um, will you see like a Fox, NBC, ESPN? It's like, hey, this is our time to pay big money to Kirk Cousins so he could be our color guy, like they did with Tony Romo, or like they tried to with Jay Cutler. So who knows? This might be the last time we see him on the field. He could be on the boot because, like, hey, I'm rehabbing. I have to get back up to play. Like, instead of going through all this trouble, why not go to the booth? So who knows? This might be the last time we see him play. But hey, I think this competitive spirit, even Aaron Rodgers, I believe he said he spoke to Kirk Cousins. And seeing Aaron Rodgers rehabbing, Aaron Rodgers already on the field throwing, that might motivate Kirk Cousins to get back to try to get back as quickly as possible as well.
Yeah, I don't know if it was real or not, but I think Justin Jefferson says that he wants Kirk Cousins back. But I'm not sure how real that is. And I'm kind of surprised that they traded for Josh Dobbs. I kind of would want famous Jameis to go over there. I feel like he could eat some W's over there.
I do like the trade for Josh Dobbs. They only gave up a 6th round pick. So, and I thought Josh Dobbs would command a lot more for that because he's been playing well. And I think a stopgap starting quarterback, that's at least a 3rd round pick to me. So they only got
Yeah.
a 6th round pick for him. That I think that's pretty good. I do want Jameis. I do want Jameis, but they might look for someone a little bit safer for that offense. Jameis is a gunslinger, and what the Vikings looking for, they don't need gunslingers. They just need someone that just makes the right throws because that's what Kirk Cousins did. So Josh Dobbs, I do like the acquisition of Josh Dobbs. I do wish they did have Jameis Winston, but hey, Josh Dobbs, that's not a bad pickup as well.
Yeah. I mean, Jameis isn't visually impaired anymore, so he can see where the defenders are at. I don't think he'll
The
be
thing
back in
is,
the
I
30
don't know
30
what the
club.
Saints are doing because Derek Carr isn't playing well. So
I
why do they not
mean,
play Jameis Winston?
are we surprised? I mean, they can't. They paid Derek Carr, what, 100,
That's true.
120 mil? They're not going to just abandon that. They're going to keep playing them until the rails fall off. Because,
Speaking of abandoned, let's talk about how Jimmy Garoppolo got benched
oof.
for Aiden O'Connell. I'm about to say McConnell, but Aiden O'Connell. But speaking of a McDaniels, he is out. And he will be back as offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots by next season.
Someone put up on X. Oh, if you where's Josh Neal gonna go? I was gonna be like, he's gonna be the Pats O coordinator specialist.
Ain't it great? You leave to another team, get head coach money, They fire you. You still get the buyout from it, and then you get to go back to your old job. That's a great life to live.
Insane. And
Get it twice.
I almost said Al Davis. Mike Davis has to pay $80 million now to John Gruden and Josh McDaniels for not coaching their team. Insane. I actually think so. I said this on His Squad Productions Giants cast today that I think the Raiders might actually beat the Giants just because I used your theory. New head coach,
It
first
worked.
game. Yeah, I said they're gonna go off. I said this is what's gonna happen. They didn't believe me, but I just feel like Antonio Pierce, ex Giants linebacker, Super Bowl champion, by the way,
And yeah,
is gonna do
Antonio
it.
Pierce of all people, and he's going against his former team. Oh yeah, this is going to be
It's
fuel
great.
to the fire.
Ugh.
I can imagine the pep talks in the locker room. I can imagine the pregame speech.
His press conference was pretty much like we're gonna be a grind nose football team. We're tired of being embarrassed. So he's definitely has a Tom Coughlin approach, and I think this team is definitely gonna side by him because they do better with interim coaches than with head coaches. It seems
Yeah, it's a theme. It's a theme. Maybe they should just have an interim coach every game
for
for
real.
next year. Don't even hire a head coach. Just keep the interim. They might be undefeated.
Oh my god.
But
Uh,
if I'm a fantasy manager of Josh Jacobs, this is the time to start. Well, you should have been starting him every game anyways, but this is definitely the time to start him.
For real. You know who I did start last week in fantasy? Pat Mahomes, and gave me 5.48 points. So that was cool. Needed to win the
Legend,
game, and
legend.
yeah, didn't do anything.
Apparently, he had the flu.
Yeah, I saw that too. And in my
Guess he's not
fantasy,
Jordan after all.
no.
Because Jordan with the flu, it had 40.
I actually picked up Russell Wilson too before the 1 o'clock games, and I was gonna play Russ, and I was like, well, Pat Mahomes says he's playing, so he should be good. But I should have just played Russell Wilson.
Mhm. So right now, my situation is I got Brock Purdy on a bye week. Justin
Ooh.
Fields is questionable, so I had to sign the next great star quarterback in Tennessee, Will Levis,
Now, do you think
Levis.
I
Go
think
go
it's
pronounce it right.
yeah, I think it's Levis, but do you think he's gonna continue with like what he did in that week?
I have no clue. I know he's going against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but hey, he had 4 touchdowns. My team is two and six, something like
Oh my
that.
god.
Yeah, it's horrible. So yeah, I just gotta sign someone. I just have to sign someone.
Oh boy, that's talk about a desperado fucking attempt right there. I mean, I got Jordan Love in my other league, but I mean, I picked up Kyler Murray like 2 weeks ago when they said he was coming back. So hopefully,
At least in your league, he was a free agent. He's not a free agent in my league.
yeah, I tried to pick him up in both of mine, but someone beat me to it like literally a minute before I was gonna do it. But
And honestly, I'm not even sure if he's even worth picking up because he hasn't played in how long, and he's recovering from an ACL. A mobile quarterback recovering from an ACL. I'm gonna hold off on that one.
yeah, I guess. I mean, he's just a good stash just in case he has like that big game.
Yeah,
Because I mean, who they have? Colton. I think his name's like Clayton Tune or something.
something like that. Yeah.
And I think he's starting this week. So, oh,
Yep.
God. Do you have any more takeaways before we go into the picks? That's all I got.
Oh yeah. That the NFL trade. So Washington Commanders cleaning house. I wish I was part of this Commanders live stream again. Chase
Oh
Young out of
yes,
there. Montez Sweat out of there. Chase Young was a number 2 overall pick just a few years ago, and gets traded for a 3rd round pick. Just talk about diminishing returns.
and he
And he
pairs up
goes to the
with Nick Bosa.
49ers. Yep. Ohio State reborn.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad that you said that because shout out to trying to find it to Deontay Adams because he put up for Commanders Nation this fan called Womananders. She puts for a thank you fans. I'll read the whole thing. Quote: As most of you know, I've been running a Watch the Redskins football team Commanders page since 2017. I was lucky enough to have the support of my loyal followers after the original Skins territory was deleted. Despite all the hard times, I have been a fan of this team for 19 years. Today, however, is the final straw. I cannot fathom the amount of hatred I have for Ron Rivera, Martin Mayu, and just this team in general. They have done nothing but let me down every single year. I finally had enough. I cannot support this poverty organization any
I
longer.
love it.
I'm proud to announce that I will be joining Jaguars Nation. They literally
That
are bringing people into the
super random.
Jaguars.
Why
Yeah.
Jaguars?
She put where they actually know how to run a competent organization. Okay.
Do they? I mean, it's just been a couple of years they've actually been doing good.
For real. So she said, thank you to all my little fans and followers for this incredible 6-year journey. But geez, the Commanders are just pushing their fans away to the Jaguars.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And I don't understand the Montez Sweat one. Why is Chicago doing this? They're just gonna waste his talents there, and his contract I think is insane. Let me look that up.
Yeah, I
But
feel like they're going to waste his talents there, but hey, they still have a it's still in my eyes a franchise quarterback, right? I mean, some people don't think Justin Fields is a franchise guy, but they still got a franchise quarterback on a rookie contract. So they could afford to to get players like this. But then again, who are the Commanders paying at quarterback? Sam Howell's on a rookie contract. He's on a third round pick contract. Why
exactly.
are they having a fire sale? I could understand the Chase Young thing because he had the ACL injury, hasn't been the same player since, and he is in line to get a huge contract, a contract that is probably not going to be worth for it. But this guy was supposed to be a generational talent. He was supposed to be the game changer that the Commanders needed, and you trade him just a few years. There was a quarterback they could have got during that time. Even though, look, Sam Howell is good, but there was so many other people they could have got during that time. So it also makes me wonder now: is a pass rusher as valuable as we think it is nowadays? If teams like Commanders are trading pass rushers to pass rushers in just a few years.
I mean, I would think so. I think it depends on the team. Like the Giants, we need pass rushers. I mean, yeah, we have Kayvon, but that's kind of really it. And it just seems like it's not really affecting us in the win column. But I don't think we should be like getting like big money to pass rushers. But I feel like pass rushers are still essential in the defense.
Yeah, I believe so too. You're not going to win games without having a competent pass rush. But just to see the Commanders just having this fire sale, I feel for Commanders fans that are still there that haven't traded to another team yet. I got to check on Rico to make sure he hasn't traded to the Eagles. You know, they got all these UGA players. He's a UGA fan. He might just go to the rival team. They're on life alert right now. We got to check in on them.
Oh God. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That I mean, I don't think he'd ever go to the Eagles, but I mean, you know him better than me.
Look, that Street Scores that Street Scores logo about to be what? What are the Eagles? Green, teal, and whatever. It's about to be a teal Street Scores logo.
Oh my God. I mean, this actual trade deadline was actually a little more impactful than I've seen in years. Like Kevin Byard, dude, I don't know what's going on over there in Tennessee, but Howard Roseman must put guns to everyone's head and says, "You need to trade me this, and I'll give you this," because like they're essentially giving crumbs to these like valuable players.
I'm just
And
surprised that Derrick Henry hasn't got traded. I was expecting that to happen, but that didn't happen.
I was expecting Saquon to get traded and definitely Adoree Jackson after what happened Sunday against the Jets. But I mean, Leonard Williams, I'll take that because you're getting a second round and a fifth for him and his contract that think the Seahawks would have to owe him for next year because of how his contract is restructured. So I will take that any day of the week.
Yeah, and the thing with the Patriots is, of course, we didn't have really any fire sale trades either. But then again, who can we trade? Who does anybody want from our team?
There was saying in reports like I don't know how you say it, but like Uchi, Josh Uchi or whatever, the
Josh
linebacker.
Uche, yeah,
Yeah, Uche, that was the only one that I really saw that was like teams
he's
were calling for
value.
him,
He's a value. Yeah, he's a value.
but that was about it.
Anybody else I can't think of because the only other valuable defensive players that aren't rookies are hurt. So I can't think of anybody else. Nobody on the offensive end, definitely. Who's going to want Mac Jones?
I did see Ezekiel Elliott was there. Some teams were looking at him, but nothing crazy.
For what? A pack of pennies? Like what is Ezekiel Elliott going to be worth for in 2023? He has zero burst right now.
Hey, the Rams could need him.
The Rams are a mess too. The Rams
Oh,
are a mess. That's one example of a team that invested all their marbles to win one Super Bowl, and that was it. After that, any year after just did not matter. That's
was
that's that is the Rams for you.
was it really worth it though?
A Super Bowl is a Super Bowl. It's always worth it.
All right, I'll give you that one, I guess. But do you see, since Josh McDaniels did get fired before we go to the picks, do you see any other coach on the hottest of hot seat that will clean your desk?
Well, after Josh McDaniels, um, I don't know. I'm just looking at the teams here.
Because I think Ron Rivera will do the step down, but
I
he's
say
gonna
Ron
get
Rivera,
fired.
yeah, but yeah, he's
Yeah,
not gonna get fired. There's gonna be too much respect for him, but so he's gonna just respectfully resign, probably by the end of the season.
and I still think Brandon Staley from the Chargers somehow, some way, he's just gonna mess up, and they're just gonna get rid of him. And
I can see Brandon Staley. Here's a little curveball for you. Of every coach, every team trying to emulate this coach and try to sign someone that looks just like him or is about the same age. How about Sean McVay?
interesting. I could see that because I feel like he will be another step down because I think what was it Fox Sports was already offering him like a ton of money to just be an analyst, and he was contemplating I think last year to retire, but I'm not
And the thing
sure that
is
was real
like
or not.
he's already like in his late 30s, but he's already kind of accomplished everything in NFL. Might as well go to the booth.
Exactly, that's what I would do. Shoot, and he just had a kid, so it's like, what do you really need a coach for? But I have this scenario that I think might happen. Hopefully, it'll happen, but it probably won't. Arthur Smith gets canned. Obviously, when Ron
That's also never
Rivera,
likely.
yeah, when Ron Rivera takes his step down in quotes, we have the offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy bring him to the Falcons and somehow, some way, trade with Chicago and go get Justin Fields, a Georgia native.
And then you turn off Madden. That's not happening. That is absolutely not happening.
But why
So
though? I feel like it could.
Ritter is done. Ritter got
Yeah,
benched for Taylor Heineke.
which I called that a few weeks ago, and I think you guys
Yep.
laughed at me about that.
No, because I didn't think I thought Arthur Smith would be too stubborn, and I didn't think it was going to happen. But I mean, I didn't laugh at you. I just didn't think like because it was just more like why play Taylor Heineke? We already know what he is. We know he's a backup. So with Ritter, it was just like you want to just see what you can do. But I guess Ritter's a backup too. Just that Heineke's a better backup than Ritter is. So Heineke's starting. But have you listened to like this clip from Cam Newton and why he never played for Atlanta?
I have not, but
So he
knowing
said
your face, it's probably good.
no. So okay. So he says that Arthur Blank would never let Cam Newton be the quarterback for Atlanta. And it's just like I guess you say he tried, but like Atlanta was not going to go for him.
Wow,
So
interesting.
the host is of it's a famous guy. I forgot his name, but he was just saying he's an Atlanta guy. Who is the host? I forgot, but he was just saying like, oh yeah, because after Michael Vick with the dog fighting, you know, you don't want You don't want the melanin quarterback being the quarterback of Atlanta anymore. Arthur Blank didn't want that anymore. Well, that's what the host is saying. Like maybe
Do you
that
think?
because of that. After Vic, it was like, nah, I don't trust any of y'all anymore.
Do you think that's why they bench Ritter? They try to give him a chance, and because I think he's half.
He's half. No, 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 no. Ritter's just bad. Ritter's just bad.
He's just
But
bad.
yeah, but I don't think they're going to trade for Justin Fields. I don't think that's likely because if they're going to trade for Justin Fields, it's going to have to be a second round pick at least. And I don't think the Falcons are ready to part with that. They do need a quarterback. They need a quarterback in the worst way, but I don't think they're going to trade for Justin Fields. Honestly, I don't think the Bears are ready to give up Justin Fields just yet. They know the talent that Justin Fields has. So I don't think the Bears are really ready unless they absolutely finish in the top 3 in the NFL draft.
Well,
Then
they
I don't
do
see them.
they do have Carolina's first round pick, so
That
regardless,
is
they
true.
will be in the top 3.
That is true. Oh yeah. Well, in that case, maybe. But if that happens, it'll be in the off season. I just don't think the Falcons are going to do something like that. But I think Arthur Smith will stay one more year because Arthur Blank is a very patient owner. He's not gonna yank the plug on a coach quickly. Actually, I think it's to a fault. I think he holds on to coaches way too long. So I don't see Arthur Smith getting fired anytime soon. I think we're going to see. I think what they would want to see is Arthur Smith perform with an actual legit quarterback because he hasn't had a legit quarterback yet. So once he gets a legit quarterback, let's see how good this team is because he overachieved with the Falcons last season. So I think they would want to see how he does with a legit quarterback.
Knowing him, he's gonna try to get Ryan Tannehill somehow. I don't know
Uh
how.
no, if
He's
they
gonna try to
do,
do
the
that.
fans will run him out himself. The Falcons fans will run them out himself if they do. Stop with the mediocre quarterbacks. Get a legit one.
Who would you want there though? Or who? Like, I mean, you're in the ATL. You see around what Falcons fans want. Who do they want?
They want Justin Fields. He's in a like we were talking about. They want Justin Fields. He's from
Oh,
Kennesaw. Kennesaw
yep.
is like what 30 minutes away from downtown. They have a statue of him in Kennesaw. They love him in Atlanta.
Really? They have a statue there?
Yeah, because he was a high school legend in Atlanta. He was one of the best high school football players ever.
Well, yeah, I watched the QB1, but I didn't think he was gonna get a statue. Oh wow,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So, yeah, they love him here.
Do
I
you
mean, I
think
knew
if
about Justin Fields since he was like what junior, sophomore in high school. Like they love him here.
yeah, do you think if Shadur Sanders comes out, you think that would be a good fit? I don't think he's coming out this year because I think Dion doesn't
That
want him
would be
to.
poetry. That would be poetry emotion with Deion Sanders being a Falcons legend. That would be poetry emotion. Um, I think he could very well come out this year. Well, I guess he doesn't need the money, of course, so he could very well stay till his senior year if his dad wants him to stay. But I could see Shador Sanders going to Atlanta. But I think Shador Sanders is to me is a top 15 pick
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
draft if he comes out this year or next year.
I just feel like the Falcons are gonna do something stupid. They'll draft like Michael Penix from Washington. I mean, he's having a good career in Washington,
You don't
but
like
how
Michael
many
Penix?
how many Washington quarterbacks are good in the NFL?
It's, it's not about that. Michael Penix is legit.
You think so?
Yeah.
I just feel like he's just one of those. I'm good in college, but I'm not that good in the pros.
I don't
I
know.
mean, we
I see the
saw.
throws he made. Those are NFL throws. I
Oh,
think
okay.
he's legit.
I don't know. I've just seen it with Kellen Moore, Colt McCoy, Colt Brennan, RIP.
The
I've seen quarterbacks
the
like that.
difference between him and those quarterbacks you mentioned is he has a much bigger arm than those quarterbacks had. Why those quarterbacks weren't successful in the NFL is because Rip to Cole Brennan. I don't mean to get in on him, but they all had noodle arms. They were very accurate. They knew the playbook. They're very smart. Like if like yeah, but they have noodle arms. Like you listen to Case Keenum right now. Case Keenum, same thing. Great in college. Was going to be great in NFL. Solid backup, but that was about it because they had noodle arms.
True, true.
Penix has an arm.
I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he does. 'Cause I
He,
know he played at Indiana for a little bit, I believe, before he went over
yeah,
to Washington. But all right, well, we'll get into our picks here. There's no more week 8. Thursday night. Oh my god, dude. I feel like Thursday night just
I'm
needs to
tired of
go.
Thursday night football. I am so tired
Uh
of it because the
it
games
is
are not good.
yeah, because it's Titans Steelers for Thursday night.
Oh my goodness, I might skip that and play Spider Man too. I'm
I
sorry.
I would. I would. Dude, I don't even I mean, I think Mitchell Trubisky starting for Steel City. Uh I guess Steelers for me. I don't know.
Titans for me, but at the end of the day, that game will be a snooze fest. Well, it should be the most entertaining game of the week too.
For real.
While we're shitting on it,
If anybody has D Hop listening to this, I would start him. It looks like Will Levis's buddy. And then we got Sunday. Ooh, so the NFL takes its turn into Germany this weekend. Is the Dolphins against the Chiefs at 9:30 in the morning. What do you got in that one?
who came earlier to Germany? That's who I get. Who came last second? Um,
Ah,
I'll I'll take I'll take the current form, and the current form of Dolphins is they have better form than the Chiefs right now. Chiefs coming off a mediocre game, Dolphins coming off a win. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins right now.
yeah, I'm going with the second on that one. I think I don't know what's going on with Pat Mahomes or this offense, but I think the Dolphins are just going to
They
stomp
they
on
need
them.
a number one receiver. I mean, well, I guess technically they got Kelsey. They need a number two receiver then. If Kelsey's number one, need number two because none of those receivers are good enough to be number two.
Well, you don't like Rasheed Rice coming into his
He's
own
a
little
number three.
rookie.
He's a number three. That's
See,
number three right
I'm just
now.
surprised they didn't go after like a Devontae or Mike Evans. I'm pretty sure they could have got Mike Evans.
Yeah, they could have thrown a first round pick in there to try to get one of those to get not even just a Mike Evans, just to get like a Marquise Brown type receiver. Like they just need something at least like that. They could
Yeah,
have got Marquise Brown. They could have done that.
I think Lou Gannon wanted to keep him. Jonathan Gannon, sorry, wanted to keep him, but who knows? To the 1 o'clock games. All right, so we got either Clayton Tune or Kyler Murray against the Cleveland Browns.
I would say this is a 1, 2, 3, but Cleveland Browns doesn't really give me too much confidence either. But I gotta go with Cleveland.
Yeah, that's definitely a 1, 2, 3. That's no question. We have the Battle of the Birds, Seahawks against the Ravens.
I'll take that purple bird. I'll take the Ravens.
Same. I don't see Seahawks doing anything. Geno Smith got his money and he's check stealing like it's his job. uh we got the Buccaneers against the Houston Texans, both 3-4.
I gotta go with the Houston Texans. I'm going with the team that has a better quarterback, and that's in Houston.
I want to agree, but I feel like somehow I think the Buccaneers are going to win this game. I don't know why. I just feel like they're going to win. Let's see. Bears against the Saints in Narlands. The guy who should have been, I guess, what did he want to be? I think he said he wanted to be a CrossFit guy, and Tyson Begnett, the quarterback, and now he's
He's such a
starting for the
cool looking
Bears.
quarterback. He's such a cool looking quarterback.
He's the kind of quarterback that screams Chicago Bear. So weird. He's like the new Jim McMahon.
Yeah, like he has that tattoo sleeve too. Like such a cool. Like it looks like a surfer dude playing quarterback. But
Shepherd's finest.
but with that being said, I assume Justin Fields won't be playing by then, and this is my pick based on Justin Fields not playing. So I am going with the Bears loss.
Yeah, right now it says he's questionable.
Yeah.
So, oh, this is so
So I
weird.
got the Saints winning.
I'm gonna go Bears. I'm gonna go Bears on
Really?
this one. Yep, I think for some reason Derek Carr is just gonna blow this game. I don't know how. I don't know why, but I think he's gonna blow it. That's just me though. Uh, all right. Your dad's team, the Vikings, against Taylor Heineke and the Falcons.
I gotta go with the Falcons right now because Vikings. I'm not sure if Josh Dobbs will be playing just yet,
He has to.
eh,
He has to. There's no way.
but I think what the Vikings front office was saying that he's not like they already have their starter in place and he's not playing yet. He'll probably play the week after. So in that case, I'm going with the Falcons.
Are they really gonna start? What's Jaron Hall?
Yeah, I
God,
think that's what they said. They named him the starter for
what?
unless they're like, "Hey, Josh Dobbs, I know you don't know the playbook yet. Just go out there, just do whatever."
Listen, Josh Dobbs is. I think his major was like a astrophysicist at Tennessee, and literally was making rockets for NASA. I'm pretty sure he can
That's still
handle the.
not learning an NFL playbook.
I'm pretty sure he could do that. Learn
You
that
you
playbook.
you can create rockets, but that's not it. But you can't learn the NFL playbook in time.
All right. Well, if Josh Dobbs plays Vikings, but I do have Falcons in this one. I've seen Taylor Heineke win games when he shouldn't be. So yeah, I
They
got the
just
Falcons.
honestly, Falcons need an average quarterback to win the division.
Yes,
Desmerator was below average. Heineke can sometimes play like an average quarterback. So if he just
facts.
plays like an average quarterback, they can win.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. Let's see. Rams against the Packers, and the Rams actually have a better record than the Packers. And I also saw that the Packers management, which is stupid, by the way, that means LaFleur should be fired. They are assessing the next 10 games for Jordan Love if he is their franchise guy. So you wasted a first round pick 3 years ago, and now you're unsure if this is your franchise.
Well, nowadays, a late first round pick for a quarterback means that like you're either just a stopgap or nowadays a late first round pick that's a quarterback would have been a third round pick like 10 years ago. It's just that quarterbacks are getting overdrafted now. So a late first round pick, like the number 12 pick of the draft, like by the Vikings was Christian Ponder many years ago.
Oh God. Yeah, Jake
So
Locker at 10.
yeah, well, Jake Locker, at least he was projected to be a top quarterback. Christian Ponder, normal drafts would have been a second or third round pick, but it was just that was that time where teams were just reaching for quarterbacks. So Packers, I mean, I feel like they gave Jordan Love enough time to show what he can do. So I feel like the next 10 games are fair. They see where he was as a backup. They're giving him a full season as a starter. And if he doesn't pan out, you can go to the next one. Why? Because you're not paying that much for Jordan Love.
I guess it's true. I don't know what's going on in Green Bay, but that's just not good.
So
Uh,
weird. Green Bay actually doesn't have a solid quarterback for once. They don't have a
for
franchise
real.
quarterback for once.
I
They
actually,
literally went from Favre to Rodgers seamlessly.
yeah, I actually got not destroyed, but like they tried to start an argument with me because they said how to trigger a Green Bay fan base, and I put wasted talent with two great Hall of Fame quarterbacks and only won two Super Bowls.
Only like you would think when we have two of the best quarterbacks of all time back to back, you would win
Exactly.
more. 49ers
Exactly.
won more with that, right? From Montana to Steve Young.
Well,
Brady,
Steve Young only had one, but I see what you're saying.
but how many Montana won?
Four.
Exactly, that's five. So,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
but how many Favre won? One. How many Rogers won? One. That's it. That's it.
And Rodgers went to two.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Brady, Patriots had Brady since '02. He's won four Super Bowls with the Patriots in five total. Even as a Patriots fan, we get so many. So it's five or four. I know he
No.
has five.
Oh no, he has six.
Yeah, six. Yeah, yeah. So we won five with the Patriots. Oh, even as a Patriot, I mean, it's not something you can relate to, but we have so many Super Bowls, you just lose count. But like, yeah, so we have five Super Bowl rings, and then Brady has six total.
No, he has seven total, but he has six with the Patriots.
Yeah, yes. Oh my goodness, I'm
See,
getting old.
he really is. You're really confusing yourself. But it's funny you say that because they actually go up against the Commanders for the final 1 o'clock game. So do you have the Commanders or are you picking the Pats? Because this has been a
With
weird
this,
Pats
with the
team.
fire sale that the Commanders had got going on, I'm picking the Patriots. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, I think this is the first time you picked the Pats this year. If I'm correct.
How cynical am I? No, I picked the Pats once earlier.
So this is your second one.
I
Okay.
felt like I picked the Pats earlier. I think it's the
Mm,
second. I think it's the
You,
second.
you know better than me. All right. So the 4 o'clock games we have Colts against Panthers. We will 1, 2, 3 that. That is definitely Colts.
Yep.
Yeah, that wasn't even a discussion. We have Giants against the Raiders. It's gonna be a 1, 2, 3 as
One, two,
well.
three. Trash.
Raiders, yep,
Both
trash.
teams are trash.
I think the Raiders are gonna win. I don't see the Giants doing anything with Tommy DeVito. I think Daniel Jones is starting, but who knows?
Yep.
Who cares?
And like I said, whenever a team has a recently fired coach, that's when they play
Yep,
much better than their capabilities. So Raiders are going to win just because now everybody's fired up since they got a fired coach.
exactly. And this one obviously will be the game of the week. As I'm yawning to it, is the Cowboys against the Eagles. I think this is a 1, 2, 3 Eagles, but unless you have the Cowgirls.
Well, it is a rivalry game, so you can never really like say for sure that one team's going to win. But I do got the Eagles to be safe, but I don't think it's a 1, 2, 3 with the Cowboys. Now we'll say them by their name, so I would say it's a 1, 2, 3 by the Cowboys.
I just think I just think with Jalen Hurts, I don't think he didn't play the last game they played against each other. I think he was hurt. So they had Gardner Minshew. I think he'll come out and AJ Brown is balling out. He's definitely
Best
top three
receiver in the
receivers.
league.
Oh, best receiver. Okay, I was gonna say top three, but okay.
No, he's best receiver in the league right now.
Yeah. So
Titans
that's
are sick. Still, what a horrible trade. Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you, I think Howard Roseman just put a gun to their head or something. There's just I don't understand. I don't understand the trades that they did. Oh man, breaking news. Breaking. We're gonna go back to the picks, but Eamon Thompson suffered a right ankle sprain. God damn it.
Oh, I was about to say a serious injury. He'll be all right. He'll be
Nah,
all right.
I'm just I'm like just god damn it. But all right, back to the picks. We have two more. 8 o'clock game, Bills Bengals. Bills Bengals. We are
Hmm.
going back to the DeMar Hamlin game. Two things. Does he play and who you got in this one?
Uh, like I said, I'm glad Damar Hamlin is doing good, but I'm just gonna be real. Like, if even if he does play, it's not gonna make an effect on the game. Just to be honest, but I gotta say the Bengals are gonna win this game. I think Burrow is coming back to his old form, so I see the Bengals winning, and I think the Bills, they came off of a win, but I still think this is not like a great team. So I got to go with the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with the Bengals, and I saw a stat with Jamar Chase because he had 15 receptions and 3 touchdowns last game, and there's only 4 other players who have done that, and it's Steve Largent, Jerry Rice, Jimmy Smith, and Tyler Lockett. So that's pretty good company right there
Crazy.
for Jamar Chase.
We
But
got so many good receivers in the league right now. We got
for
Justin
real,
Jefferson, AJ Brown, Jamar Chase. Like you could put these guys in any era and they'll be top five. Even during the Moss TO era, they'll be top five.
I could see that. I could definitely see, especially AJ Brown. I think because he's just a big physical specimen. I think he could definitely do that.
Yeah. Mike Evans as well. We don't give Mike
Oh yeah.
Evans credit, but Mike Evans as well.
Well, he's chasing Jerry Rice for the most 1,000 yards.
He's
See,
been one of the most consistent receivers. Like you usually see receivers fall off at his age right now, but he's still going. He's still a top receiver.
for real. I wish he gets out of Tampa. I feel like he's just gonna waste the rest of his career there, and he
Pretty
doesn't
much.
deserve
At least
that.
he got a Super Bowl.
True. That's very true. Last game, Monday night, Chargers against the Jets, and the Jets have a better record.
I was about to say 1, 2, 3, but no, Chargers are so unpredictable. And you know what? I'm gonna say the Jets are winning.
Whoa, that is the biggest hot take I think I've ever seen you do
Because, like you
because you
said,
always go after them.
I always go after them, but hey, if I'm a betting man, I don't put money on the Chargers. My brother just lost money on the Chargers last week, so I'm not I'm not putting money on the Chargers. Zach Wilson is questionable, but he is playing better. He's at least not committing too many mistakes. So
True.
he's letting the defense do its job. And that's how the Jets need to win. The defense does its job and Jets will win.
True that. Yeah, I got the Jets in this one as well. Just don't trust Brand Staley. His seat is getting bubbling hot every single week. Yeah, Justin Herbert will probably throw for like 250 with two touchdowns and probably like a fumble or something. So yeah, I got the
Probably,
Jets in
yeah.
this one.
350 yards, something like that. But for some reason, he's just not going to win the game. That just seems like Justin Herbert. He'll have these crazy stats, but for some reason, they're not going to win.
Yeah, I had him like 2 years ago starting that, and he was doing that stuff. So I was like, yeah, never again. But now we're done with one football, but now we go to the other. Now I watched a few game matches this over the weekend. We definitely need to do a soccer show because I feel like you're really influencing me on all these leagues. I watched.
Got the background ready.
Yep, I did watch my Dortmund, but I also watched FC Mayern, and I watched Manchester United against Manchester City, and then I also watched the La
Manchester
Liga.
Derby.
Yeah, seriously, and I watched the obviously La Liga, which we're going to talk about right now, Real Madrid and Barcelona, because my ex Borussia Dortmund player Jude Bellingham, 2 goals in this one, and he looked pretty sharp too.
I'm starting to think at this point, Borussia Dortmund held him back. He was not this goal scorer in Borussia Dortmund. Ancelotti
No.
has unlocked him. He's playing him more as a number 10 or a second striker rather than a number 8, as he's been playing in Borussia Dortmund. He's been playing in Borussia Dortmund. He's more of a central midfielder. Here, it's more of an attacking midfielder or like a second striker. And yeah, 2 goals. Both goals was just basically he was just at the right place at the right time for both goals. His off the ball awareness is just amazing. It's still like amazing that he's only 20. He
Yeah.
is only 20. He honestly, I think he looks older than me, honestly. Like ain't no way I'm that much older than him, but yeah, he's 20.
Yeah, I think the most in when he was on Dortmund was probably 8 goals, and right now he has 13. I think he has.
Crazy. The
Yeah.
season just started. He's still technically not even a striker.
Yes. I actually was surprised that they won this because from what I saw from the head-to-head matchups, I think besides this match, I think they've only won 2 of them out of the last like I guess 6 now.
Well, there was this player, this Argentinian player that Barcelona had that wore number 10, went by the
I
name
don't
of
remember.
Messi.
Don't remember that
I
guy.
think he had a lot of influence in them winning most of them, but um yeah, and the thing is Barcelona did play a better game than Real Madrid, but the thing about soccer is it's not about who plays better on the pitch, it's just about the final score. Real Madrid took most of their chances and they won.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, even the stats from the game, they were all pretty close together. I think Real Madrid had like one more shot on goal than Barcelona, and I think everything else is pretty much like the same. So it really, I mean, and it's not like Bellingham scored like really early in the match. I think his first goal was the 69th minute or 68th minute, and then he got it in the 90th minute. So
Yeah,
it's
and
like all towards the end of the match.
yeah, and like I think it was like that first goal he scored was just like a rocket shot. I'm just like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, um, he's just an amazing player. He's just an amazing player. Even in Barcelona, they got amazing young guys too, like Fermin Lopez. It's just like they're getting these wonder kids, these young players out of nowhere. Like, where are they coming from? We all know about Gavi. Gavi was playing good. He was marking Bellingham well until those 2 goals. Um, both teams are still set for the future. I mean, this is a great weekend for soccer, as you mentioned, the Manchester Derby. Didn't get a chance to see that, but also Manchester City pulling that out with a win too. It's been a great weekend for soccer. I always love the El Clasicos. I never miss it. I was going to a convention, a Halloween convention, and I was dressing like Zuko. If anyone watched the Avatar: The Last Airbender, so I was picking up my badge. But while picking up my badge, I was watching the game on my phone because I'm not missing this.
Yeah, pretty much Manchester City like just dominated from the rip. There was one incident where um Manchester United I forgot what his name was, but he like
Describe
fell.
him. Describe
Yeah,
him. I can tell you.
yeah, and they had that little scuffle thing, but other than that, it was pretty much all Manchester City because I
Oh,
think
so it was Doku and I think I saw a picture of that. It was Doku? Doku was the Manchester City player. I forgot who the other guy in that picture was.
yeah, I think it was like number 9 or something for Manchester United, but he well the
Oh,
guy I mentioned.
Anthony Martial. Anthony
Yes,
Martial.
yes, yeah, they had a little scuffle going, and it's funny too because I gotta look it up now because I don't remember the name. You just said it.
Oh, you
Is it Foden? Foden? However you say
Foden.
it.
That's English.
Foden.
Come on, Aaron. That's not
Dude,
even a
I don't.
foreign. That's
It's
That's an
it
Englishman.
is
He's an
foreign.
Englishman.
It is foreign because we don't speak
He's
British
from the
English.
UK.
Oh, gee, exactly. So how am I gonna know?
Phil Foden. Come
Well,
on.
Foden? I don't know, man. Well, he he actually scored in the 80th minute in that match. So, but other than that, it was pretty good. And also, too, the I don't know if you saw it. The Arsenal Man City was pretty good too.
No,
I don't know if you
like when
watched
I
that
tell
one.
you, I only got to watch El Clasico. That was the only game I got to watch. But I
Well, no,
didn't miss the Arsenal game.
that one was from like 2 weeks ago. But I thought that was a really good one too.
Oh, that game. Oh yeah. I thought you were talking
Where it
about
was a one
recent
nothing. No,
because
no, no.
Arsenal they beat Sheffield United 5-0 Saturday, and also they lost to West Ham at the EFL Cup 3-1, and that happened today.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, it's so like you know how the NBA is doing an in-season tournament. We didn't even discuss about the colorful courts, the crayon courts that they're going to do. But
Oh God.
so they got that from soccer, right? Because soccer they have multiple seasons within the season, so they have like their own tournaments. So they have like the EFL Cup, they have
Yep.
the FA Cup. Spain has the Copa del Rey. So like yeah, they got like their season within the season too. Unlike the NBA though, they don't put blue grass or red grass like they're doing with the courts.
Ay. But I jumped over to the German league. Watched Dortmund. They actually tied with Frankfurt 3-3. But I actually thought Frankfurt was going to win because at one point they were up 3-1, and Dortmund came back. But it just didn't seem like they were really that good from the jump. They mostly got their goals in the second half, like kind of near the end. But it was still actually still pretty good goals that were scored. But I also checked out who Dortmund's playing next week, which I believe is a 1:30 game on Saturday. Bayern Munich and another guy who came over from the English league, Harry Kane, hat
Yep.
trick. I think he has 13 goals too right now. If I'm correct,
Yep.
maybe 13, 12.
And Real Madrid and Barcelona is called El Clasico. In Germany, Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern Munich is called De Clasica.
Yes.
So I am watching De Clasica this Saturday, and I am not missing that one.
Are you sure?
Well, okay, I'm not. There is an event. I'm not completely sure, but hopefully I don't miss it. Hopefully,
I mean,
if anything, I
it's
won't put it on my phone.
yeah, I mean, it's at 1:30, so if you do miss it, it's on ESPN Plus, so they'll have it
Yeah,
on when it's
I'm
over.
probably most likely watching it on my phone because there's a food festival going on, and you know me about food.
Oh
I do not
dang.
miss food.
Do you
So I
have
am
any
watching it on my phone.
do you have any matches for me to watch over the weekend that's gonna happen? 'Cause I don't
Well,
not
for
really
one, that
sure.
that
Besides that one.
is that is a match to watch. I'm going to pull up some matches for you. So you have that one going on for you got Newcastle versus Arsenal same time as well,
I did see
1:30.
that.
That's going to be pretty difficult to watch both on the phone, but I'm going to try. You got Fulham and Manchester United. That's at 8:30 a.m. You got Tottenham and Chelsea, the London battle, no, Monday 3 p.m. So you got that for the Premier League. Those are the notable games over there. For La Liga, you have, as I pull up the games, you got Real Sociedad versus Barcelona. That's at 4 p.m. on the Saturday. You got Real Betis and Mallorca. That's at 11:15 a.m. November 4th. And also you got Real Madrid and Rayo Vallecano, and that's at November 5th on a Sunday. A lot of soccer for you, a lot of games to watch. Going to be very occupied.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely gonna watch all that. And if I don't watch that day, I always just go on the replay and watch it. But yeah, man, you're definitely getting me addicted to the soccer stuff, and it's kind of funny. They maybe it's always been like this. I just never realized it, but I feel like in all these leagues, they're aggressive in their own way. Like
Yeah,
it's very like jam packed aggression, and I like that. It's cool.
yeah, each league has its own different style of soccer, so that's why
Yeah,
I like watching different leagues. Like before the streaming services, it was just Premier League we could really watch. So once I was able to get the streaming services of the other leagues, it's great. Like there was a point where I just stopped watching Premier League altogether for like 1 year. Well, not altogether, but I was
yeah.
preferring other leagues because I was so used to watching Premier League. I wanted to see La Liga, I wanted to see Bundesliga, I want to see Serie A in Italy. So yeah, I do love the different style of play that each league has to offer.
Yeah, I definitely think too with the German league, they're very fast paced from what I've
Very
seen.
fast paced, super
Like,
attacking.
yes, which I'm cool with because I think there was one. Uh, which one was it? Or maybe it was the in the Premier League that I watched. I think it was
Well,
the
Premier League
Manchester.
too is very fast paced. So German soccer and English soccer is most similar. Italian soccer and Spanish soccer is most similar. With English being, I think, a little bit more tactical than German, while German's just more English more defensive, German's more fast paced, Italian more defensive, Spain just more methodical and possession based.
Yeah, I think it was in the Manchester City, Manchester United one. The dude it was a great shot, and then the guy tried to headbutt in for the goal, but because he just didn't really put too much oomph in or put it in a certain way, the goalie just automatically grabbed it, and they were like that. They were like that should have been an easy goal for Manchester United, and they fumbled it pretty much. I was like,
That's the story of
Eesh.
Manchester United. They're basically the Knicks of soccer, really.
Because I
Historic
didn't.
team, live off their past,
It
Cowboys too. They're Cowboys of soccer.
it seems like because they only had 18 points or whatever for the year or however you guys say it. And then while Manchester City, I think, had
Yeah, Manchester
almost
City's a
30.
juggernaut. Yeah,
Yeah.
Manchester City's a juggernaut, but Manchester United, they're equivalent. They're the Dallas Cowboys of soccer. They live off their past. They had a legendary coach back then.
Yep.
The media pundits always says they're going to have a great year, and they always underachieve. Same thing.
Yeesh. But yeah, we should any followers out there, listeners, while I put it up for Spotify, Apple, you name it, we're pretty much on it. Let us know what you guys think of that. I definitely want to get a soccer show going. I'll definitely have slides for it. Do you have any final words before we go?
I mean, I think we pretty much covered it. Yeah, thank you for listening on to this live. If you listen on live or you're listening in the past tense of the replay, appreciate y'all listening. And yeah, we're gonna have more content for y'all.
Yeah. So again, just appreciate all the followers on X. Definitely trying to get as much as we can. Definitely need more subscribers on our YouTube page. We're getting some great content out there. Again, we're gonna try to get a soccer one going. Maybe WWE one, but I'm probably only gonna watch like the pay-per-views when they come out. That's gonna be iffy, but definitely want to get the soccer, getting some great reviews for that. Hollywood Ray obviously is partying with James Harden right now because he thinks he's too cool for us. But that will do it for That's My Sports. We have our host Shay, and I'm Aaron for the Shay and Aaron Show. Peace.
Tie this game at 60.